Hello students, good morning all of you. Today we are going to start the very important unit, that is third unit, which is nothing but the data collection. Previously till now, in the first unit we came to know the basics regarding statistics is concerned, like methods of dispersion, methods of measuring central tendency, like I mean to say averages, arithmetic mean, median, mode, understand? And also under methods of dispersion we came to know how to calculate the standard deviation, all this information. So as far as the unit 2 is concerned, we actually understood how to quantify the things which are going to happen in the future. That means the things are certain and uncertain. Sometimes to get some information regarding uncertainty of the events, based upon that to take decision is also very much useful. So to measure uncertainty, what is the statistical tool is available? Probability. So under probability we came to know many definitions, like mutually exclusive events, collectively exhaustive events, independent events, dependent events. And also we came to know the speciality of the probability, having three kinds of definitions: classical definition, statistical definition, axiomatic definition, and addition theorem, multiplication theorem. Next, what we came to know, the Bayes theorem and its applications, theory of expectation, and as well as the distributions like binomial, Poisson, normal, and fitting of the respective distributions. Today all together we are going to experience actually how to do the statistical analysis. As you all know that the statistics is nothing but only three activities would be there. One is the collection of the data, presentation of the data, and extracting information from that data, what to call that, the analysis part. Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. Okay, these three stages you are going to use in your project report, because in the final semester you are going to prepare a project report. In the project report you are going to use these techniques practically. It's a direct application of what you call the statistical methods in this MBA course. But real time, if you concern without statistical knowledge, it's very difficult to conduct any kind of research work. I already told you there is one more area where actually you find less competition, which is nothing but becoming business data analyst. There actually all these techniques are very useful. Actually we are going to understand in these three stages about the stage 1, nothing but the data collection. Understand? What do you mean by data? Data is nothing but the collection of the numerical information. The simple example is, so from your class I can take a data like what you call all your names in one column and respect to scoring in different subjects. That becomes the data. So from the data, what kind of information I can have? How many of them first class students are there? How many of them what you called stood in the distinction? For how many of the students required what you call few more services to develop their subject knowledge, understand? Such a way, what you call that part, analysis part. So that information you are putting in a table, what you call that one as the presentation, nothing but the stage 2. What we are understanding about the first stage, what do you call the data collection. So to collect the data, there are so many methods are there: primary data, secondary data. Under primary data, you may be having questionnaire method, schedule method, understand, personal interviews, like various methods are there. Under secondary data, actually the data you are going to acquaint from already what you call available information, like through the internets, through the journals, or else what you call through the magazines, other what you call the sources of information. But to collect the data, you need to prepare the questionnaire, how to, what to call the prepare the questionnaire, what are the things need to be what you call considered while preparing the set of questions known as the questionnaire. So before that, what is required, you should understand how to measure that numerical information. So today we are going to understand about the measurement and as well as the scaling. Unless otherwise you understand the measurement and as well as the scaling, you cannot collect the data, whether that is the what you call the primary data or else the secondary data, immaterial. The first thing you need to understand before going into deeper, before understanding all those techniques, nothing but you have to understand about the measurement and as well as the scaling. Understand? What do you mean by measurement? In simple words, the measurement is nothing but to assign few kind of signs or else few kind of numbers for any attribute of a what you call a thing or else what you call a person which are having a particular special quality. In a layman words, if I want to say, just assigning the numbers is known as the measurement. Okay. Suppose that the students are there, they take the exam. Let us take BRM only. Okay. In general, the maximum marks in the BRM would be 100. So out of 100, let us suppose that the students' marks are like this: 90, 85, 62, 78. Understand? What are all these? 90, 85, 62, all these are all nothing but the measurement. You are assigning the performance of the students. You are understanding the performance of those students in terms of what you call that numerical information. What you call that the measurement. From our college location to, let us take various what you call important location in our Hyderabad. Distances. Let us take suppose Mehdipatnam. Okay, some 20 kilometers distance would be there. Let us suppose LB Nagar, some 30 kilometers distance would be there. So here the distance we are, understanding again by what you call assigning few kind of what you call informative things in terms of the numbers. So distance, again height, again what you call, let us suppose that the performance of any company, let us suppose that the marketing department is there. Understand? What is the main purpose of the marketing department? Their main, purpose is nothing but to improve the sales of the products of the company through the various kinds of modes. They always should understand the pulse of the customers. What are the things actually wanted by the customers? If those things, those quality things are available in our products or not, they need to gauge that. They need to create, interesting advertisements so the customers can watch that, they can attract towards their products. So for a company, monthly regarding the sales of a product, if you collect, that becomes what you call the assignment of the numbers, strictly speaking the data. Such a way, all this data you are going to collect, the first thing you are doing is nothing but the measurement. So what is the measurement? Nothing but the assigning the numbers, whatever is that situation. So after assigning the numbers, what you need to do, you need to what you called understand the actual intensity of the quality whatever is there in that particular object under your observation. What do you call that? Scale. Okay. So this measurement at scale actually allows you to collect the data. That's why initially to understand this information is very, very important. Okay. So measurement is defined as the assignment of numbers to characteristics of objects or events. The intelligence of the students, how we measure in terms of the marks, the number of units sold, the height of the person, understand, the quality of the gold, different units would be there, understand. The number of what you call liters of the petrol you are having to your vehicle in terms of the liters. So what you call that, based upon the characteristic, you are assigning different what you call the numbers. You call that situation as the measurement. Scaling means process of measuring or ordering entities with respect to quantitative attributes traits. Understand? To measure distance, a what you call a separate measurement method you apply. To measure what you call the weight, a separate what you call method you apply. Understand? So all these are all physical objects, but some other objects are there you cannot measure directly by using it. Through your mere observation also you can send some kind of information. Like opinion on any product by what you call the customers. Let us take the cars only. The sales of cars actually depends upon so many parameters. The very, very important parameter is nothing but aesthetics, the looks of the car. Understand? How what you called the customers have been impressed by what you called observing any particular model car. How you can have? It's not the what you call information you cannot directly measure. That is called impression. So there are different kinds of methods are there to measure that kind of psychological aspects. Understand? So what you call these are all, you are calling these are all scaling. So scaling means process of measuring or ordering entities with respect to quantitative attributes or traits. I mean to say strictly you are putting all the information on a what you call gradual increment or decrement way. You call that one as the scaling. So method of placing respondents in continuation of a gradual change, whether that is increasing or decreasing. If that comparison is possible, what you are calling as the scaling. Scaling is nothing but the measurement method. Don't confuse. Scale is different, scaling is different. Scale is noun. Scaling is what you call the verb. Here you are going to understand how to measure what you call that activity as the scaling. Okay. The best example, what is that? The thermometer consists of numbers arranged in a continuous spectrum to indicate the magnitude of heat possessed by an object. So Fahrenheit's kind of measurement is there, Celsius degrees kind of measurement would be there. In the present situation, this medical instrument became common in every household. Why? Because if anybody considers uneven temperature, immediately what they are doing, they are measuring their body temperature. What do you call that instrument? The thermometer. I think all of you seen the thermometer. If you see the thermometer, small divisions would be there. Degrees Celsius, understand? Based upon that, what is the body temperature, whether fever is there, low fever is there, high fever is there, temperature is there, one can gauge, one can measure. So what you call that way of measuring? Scaling. That instrument is known as a scale. So here the Fahrenheit or else what you call the Celsius. Different scales. Okay. So measurement scale measures the characteristics of the objects or events. So whether those are observable characteristics or non-observable characteristics of any object. Through the measurement and as well as the scaling procedure, you are going to come to a conclusion. So anything you consider on this earth, what is required to get a good approximation, measurement is required. If measurement is not possible, it's very difficult to give opinion about that process, what you call object. All measures should be converted into quantitative terms by applying numbers. Remember that the statistical tools are going to be applied when the information is in terms of the numbers only. Directly, few kinds of situations can be collected in terms of numerical information, like mileage given by what you call particular group of what you call companies' cars. You can directly measure. Scores scored by what you call few set of students. You can directly measure. But some kind of information is there, you cannot have the direct information. Like attitude is there, impression is there, knowledge is there. Isn't it? What you call these are all attributes. Attributes are nothing but the qualities which cannot be measured in terms of what you call the numbers directly. Those things can be only compared. Through the comparison only you can get the information. Intelligence, proficiency, all these are all nothing but the attributes. Even the data which has been collected and the attributes also, that also should be converted into numbers. Otherwise you cannot go for what you called application of the statistical tools. So that's what actually, what do you mean by all measures should be converted into quantitative terms by applying numbers. All scaling techniques are based on 4 pillars: order, description, distance and origin. You take any scaling method, either any one of these characteristics are going to be covered or else all of them will be what you called will be covered. What are the characteristics? Like identification of the order. People are there, so 10 persons would be there. All the 10 persons may not be having a equal height. In terms of height, difference would be there. If you ask them what to call right from shorter to what to call taller one, stand in a row, what to call that order, particular order. Description. So here under description quality, you are going to explain the other statistical qualities. Distance. Let us take what you call the Celsius degree scale only. So various kinds of small lines would be there. What you call that the divisions. The distance between any two side by side divisions is going to be the equal. So what you call that the distance measurement. Origin. So origin means the starting point. Generally the 0 would be considered as the origin. So based upon these 4 characteristics only, on this world entire measurement is going to take place. Order, description, distance and as well as the origin. So till now what we came to know? We came to know measurement and as well as the scaling. So measurement is nothing but the assignment of the numbers to the characteristics of the objects or the events. But to provide the numbers, if you follow a special method, what do you call that method as the scaling. So while going for scaling and as well as the measurement, you are considering four very important characteristics. What to call them as the four pillars. One is the order, description, distance and as well as the origin. Actually, these four characteristics only led to what you called to development of the wonderful concept. Next we are going to understand, which are nothing but the types of the scales. What is that? The types of the scales. What are those? The nominal, ordinal, interval, ratio. So in short, what to call them as NOIR, N-O-I-R. If you consider only the first letters, it becomes NOIR. Okay, let us discuss about the types of the scales. Don't confuse, scaling is different, scales are different. So again, under scaling different methods are there. So method of measurement is known as the scaling. The types of scales means what is the kind of instrument you are using. Okay. So now we are going to understand about what to call scales. So what is that? The levels of measurement, or is what to call the types of scales or the measurement scales. So how many types are there? Four types are there. One is called the nominal scale. The next one is the ordinal scale. Third one, the interval scale. The fourth one, ratio scale. How do you remember? You remember this word, NOIR, N-O-I-R. So in general, NOIR means in the French, black color. Okay. So most of the times you will be missing that order. So what is the technique I am providing? So remember that word NOIR. That means nominal scale, ordinal scale, interval scale, ratio scale. Okay. What to call these are all types of scales. Be careful. Okay. Now, before understanding these types of the scales, you need to understand about data types. Primary data, secondary data, those are what you call types based upon the collection. Same way, the data can also be segmented into parametric kind of data, non-parametric kind of data. If all the attributes of any situation, if directly possible to measure, what to call that? You call them as parametric data. The best examples are heights of a people, weights of a people, sales of a company. Okay. But if the information whatever you are going to collect is not directly possible to measure, what to call them as non-parametric kind of data. Understand? That means before understanding nominal, ordinal scale, interval scale, ratio scale, you need to understand the type of the data. Based upon the type of the data, you can easily judge which kind of scale can be applied. Okay. So it's all nothing but before collection of the data only. So nominal scale, ordinal scale and as well as the interval scale, ratio scale. Now we are going to discuss about the nominal scale. What do you mean a nominal scale? Nominal scale is nothing but its preliminary way of measuring what to call any situation. The data which is collected through the nominal scaling procedure, you call that the nominal data. Very limited way you can go for further statistical analysis. Understand? The one more name for the nominal scale is nothing but what you called counting. So here what you are doing, simply you are assigning a symbol to understand the what you call the attribute of that particular any object. What you call that? The nominal scale. The best example for nominal scale is nothing but the jerseys of a sports persons. The t-shirts, the attire, whatever the sports person wear, you call them as jerseys, technical word that. Tell me, what is the jersey number of a Sachin Tendulkar? 10. Number 10. Isn't it? There, what is the meaning of that? That 10 is any kind of quantification? No. Out of 11 players on the pitch, on the ground, if you see any person wearing the number 10 and playing cricket, we easily produce that man is a Sachin Tendulkar. Nothing but just for what you call having the idea about the attribute, we are using that. Categorical. What to call this? The categorical way of what to call mentioning. So more than that, the 10 is not at all going to give any kind of information. Let us take what to call the importance of the 10 as far as what to call beyond cricket if you consider. Like recently one world famous footballer passed away, Diego Maradona. He also, when he was playing, wear this what to call number 10 jersey only. Understand? So there, that number 10 is only the recognition, that's it. More than that, you cannot get any kind of information. Such a way, if you provide any signs, symbols or numerical information, just to identify the presence of that particular character, what to call that, the nominal way of measuring, nominal data. Understand? So whenever the nominal data is available, only limited kind of statistical analysis you can perform. So as far as the measures of central tendency is concerned, we can use the mode. Do you know? I think you all remember very well in the first unit, we actually understood about the measurement of what we call the central tendency. Like mathematical measures are there, positional averages are there, business averages are there. So under positional averages, mode is there. Mode means number of times repeated. Understand? So as far as the nominal data is available, you can use most of the times the mode that useful for to have what you call the central tendency information. As far as the dispersion measurement is concerned on the nominal data, it's not possible. That's what. So whenever the nominal data is available, a limited statistical analysis can be performed. So as far as the tests of significance are concerned, you can apply the chi-square test. So this is the starting level of what we call low level of collection of the data, nominal data. Understand? So let us see what information is there in the slide. So nominal scales are categorical scales used to identify, label or categorize the objects or persons or events. Britannia biscuits, good or bad, nominal scale. For this particular employment, only male are eligible, only female are eligible, or else both male or female. What do you call that? The categorical scale. Understand? So based upon few kinds of situations, we are going to apply this nominal scale. Nominal scales are the lowest form of measurement. So out of 4 measurements if you concern, this is called the starting level of the measurement. The simple rule to be followed while developing a nominal scale is do not assign the same numerals to different objects or events or different numbers to the same object or event. Out of 11 players, let us suppose that more than one player, like 2 players, 3 players wearing 10 number jersey only. What do you mean by that? It leads to confusion. Okay? That's why while applying the nominal scale, not for more than one, the same number symbol should be repeated. So nominal scales are generally useful most of the times in the marketing data analysis, like brands identification, sales regions, awareness of the brands, so working status of the woman. So all these can be categorized under nominal data. Good, bad, yes or no, understand? Performing or not performing, all comes under nominal scale. So these are some of the statistical tools what you can apply, like mode, percentage, and as well as the chi-square test. Understand? See this. Next one, ordinal scale. The name itself indicating you. So, if anything is possible to put in the order as well as a recognition. So, what do you mean by that? You are actually creating the ordinal kind of data. Strictly speaking, this way of collection of the data is a little bit improvement over the nominal scale. The next level of measurement as far as the quality is concerned is nothing but the ordinal scale. Okay. As far as the ordinal scale is concerned, so one can apply median in order to what you called understand about the measures of the dispersion. What is that measures of the central tendency, and for the measures of the dispersion one can use the percentile or else what you call the quartile kind of deviations. So for statistical significance one can apply non-parametric methods. Okay. So let us see here the ordinal scale. So the ordinal scale is nothing but based upon the rank. Okay. So rank is nothing but the relative position of a person, thing with other. Ordinal scale is ranking scale that indicates ordered relationship among the objects or events. It involves assigning numbers to the objects, indicates the relative extent to which the objects possess some characteristic. That means here recognition is also possible, and also this kind of data leading to put in terms of order from low level to high level, from minimum to what to call maximum. What to call that order. It is an improvement over nominal scale, in that it indicates an order. However, this scale does not indicate on how much more or less of the characteristic various objects or events possesses. The main drawback of the ordinal scale is nothing but in exact quantitative figures, the quality existing by the particular object cannot be understood. Important feature of ordinal scale over nominal scale is that it indicates a relative position, not the magnitude of the difference between the objects. So in research, ordinal scales are used to measure relative attitudes, opinions, perceptions, etc. Example, horse race. Next we go for the third one, interval scale, or else what to call the rating scale. So this is third level as far as what to call the scales are concerned. What to call that interval scale or else a rating scale. So under interval scale, what will be there? You can recognize. That means nominal scale will be there, and you can put in the order from min to max. That is ordinal data also will be there. And besides that, you can maintain the equal gaps between two side-by-side divisions. That's why this is improvement over again what you called the ordinal level, and as well as what you called the first kind of scaling method, the nominal one. So interval scale is otherwise called as a rating scale. It involves the use of numbers to rate objects or events. So here one can measure the intensity or the what you call the actual what you call a magnitude of any kind of quality which is present in particular object. In interval scales, numerically equal distances on the scale represent equal values in the characteristic being measured. The best examples are nothing but the Fahrenheit scaling, Celsius degree scaling, understand? The interval scale possesses the property of equality of difference between each level of measurement. So that's what I told you. So in the interval scale, the gaps are going to be equal from first to its next following item. Understand? So because of that, sometimes it's what you call possible to understand the actual magnitude of the wanted characteristic. The feature of this scale is that the difference between any two scale values is identical to the difference between any other two adjacent values of an interval scale. What are the examples? Fahrenheit scale and Celsius scales. So where you can apply the interval scales, like while collecting the what to call data on attitudes, opinions, perceptions, what to call. What are the statistical tests you can perform here? So when you go for interval scale, so you can apply as far as the measures of central tendency is concerned. So measures of central tendency is concerned. So on the interval kind of data, you can use the mean, the most powerful measurement for central tendency, and as well as standard deviation, the rated one as far as what you call the measures of dispersion is concerned. Besides that, you can apply F test, T test. What are these? You are going to understand in the fourth unit while what you called reading the sampling theory. So F test means Fisher's test. T-test means student T-test. What do you mean by all these things? So actually these two tests are based on what we call the normal distribution. So we will discuss in the fourth unit. So we can perform F-test and as well as the T-test on the interval scale. Okay. Now we go for the last kind of scale, what to call that, the ratio scale. So here the ratio scale kind of data is the more powerful data, which will be having all the qualities of the nominal data, ordinal data, and as well as the ratio data, interval data, isn't it? So nominal, ordinal, interval. So combinedly in the ratio kind of data, you can perform all the activities whatever you perform in the lower levels of the scales. Understand? So ratio kind of scales or ratio kind of data is the topmost data. Here you can apply all kinds of statistical analysis. So under ratio scales or the ratio kind of data, you can find the absolute zero. So it possesses all the properties of the normal, ordinal, and as well as the interval scales. So when the ratio kind of data is available, you can imply any kind of statistical tool. So generally the ratio kind of scales are applied on the sales data to understand what to call the market share of a company, okay, cost, ages, and the number of customers. So if you compare with other scale, the ratio scale is the most powerful scaling method. Okay. So in a single slide, I try to compare all the properties so the confusion will not be there. See that the type of the scale nominal. So in general, what is the data characteristic? Only classification is possible, but not order, distance, or origin. Here order means next level. Ordinal scale, distance means interval scale, and the final one, origin, means ratio scale. So what are the operations you can perform? Numerical operations, only counting, that's it. More than that you cannot do any kind of what to call activity. What are the descriptive statistical tools? So frequency in each category. So number of times repeated, you can count that. Percent in each category, mode is applied. Examples. So gender. So while what you call understanding the gender impression or what you call uses of any product like male, female. So how to convert the information into numerical? Generally male will be given number 1, female will be given number 2. So in the data you find only 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2 like that. So what do you mean by that? Wherever 1 comes, that is male impression or opinion. Wherever 2 is visible, that indicates that the opinion from a female customer. Isn't it? Such a way, what I told you, for any statistical analysis, what is required, you need to convert the data into numerical information. That is about the nominal scale. The next one, the ordinal. So what are the data characteristics? So only order you can apply besides recognition, that is nominal characteristic. But as far as the distance, unique origin means you never find in the ordinal kind of data. So what are the numerical operations you can perform? Ranking, that's it. That is rank ordering. So we are going to understand about what to call rank correlation, Spearman rank correlation. Okay. So there actually you will come to know how to use that statistical tool, ranking. So what are the descriptive statistics? So median, range, percentile. So these are the few statistical tools can be applied. What are the examples? As far as academics are concerned, freshly appointed people like freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. So according to the experience, a numerical what you call recognition will be provided. Like for freshman 1, sophomore number 2, juniors 3, and senior 4. The third level data, what is that interval? So there what are the characteristics? classification, order and distance, but no unique origin. That means ordinal nominal characteristics would be there in the interval data. So what are the numerical operations we can perform under interval data? Like arithmetic operations that preserve order and magnitude. So what are the descriptive statistical tools can be applied? Mean, standard deviation, variance. Examples are temperature in degrees, satisfaction and semantic differential scale, is it? So semantic differential scale, it's a kind of scale like Likert scale is there, okay? We are going to understand that. The next one is a ratio scale. So here what is that data characteristic? All characteristics would be there, like classification would be there, order is possible, distance measurement is possible, and unique starting point would be there. What to call that? Origin. So what are the numerical operations can be performed on ratio kind of data? Arithmetic operations, actual quantities. Now what are the descriptive statistical tools? Like standard one, you can apply mean, geometric mean, coefficient of variation. Every kind of statistical tool can be applied. Examples: age in years, income in Saudi riyals, is it? All the data, whatever you get, falls under ratio data. See this picture. All the scales information beautifully explained through this picture. So here the first scale nominal. That means just we are going to understand that rider of the horse. But if you go to next level scale, besides understanding the rider of the horse, we are going to understand who is in the first, who is in the middle, who is in the what you call the third position. What you call that the order. Little bit improved information. But if it comes to the third level scale, besides recognition and as well as order, we are able to grab here the distance also between first horse to second horse and as well as the second horse to third horse. Little bit improved data this. And finally the ratio, all these things are available. Distance possibility is there, origin is possible, recognition is also possible. That's why for perfect statistical analysis, sought after the data type always is ratio type data. But in many situations, the ratio type of data is not possible. So what is required? We have to limit the application of the statistical tools either to nominal way of collection of the data, ordinal way of collection of the data, and finally interval way of what we call the collection of the data. Okay. So today what we learned about the measurement, scaling, understand? Different types of scales, what are all available, like nominal scale is there, ordinal scale is there, interval scale is there, and the final one, what you call that, the ratio scale is there. So based upon the what you call the scale, you call that data as that kind of data. So nominal scale data, what you call nominal data. Ordinally, what you call collected data, ordinal data, like interval data, ratio data. So based upon the data, you need to apply suitable statistical tools. Understand? So in the next class, we are going to understand what are the methods of the scaling. Today we learned types of the scales. In the next class, we are going to understand methods of the scaling. I stop here. Thank you.